Wavy trust already, I'm thankful that you did me wrong, cause now I got it right, I promise you gon' miss me gone. I done seen it all like the first picture phone. They wishing on my downfall with the wishing bone. Wavy trust already,
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, my managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just having so much time investing into this,
Still, great job, woo! Thank you, woo, woo!
Now, unless you on cloud 10, on that rock, have you heard the motherfucking word? What's good, y'all? It's yours truly. Once again, HeartBreak Ace. Familiar with my content or not, hit that like, comment, subscribe to the algorithm. Get the breaking content every time I upload. Tell the algorithm I might take it easy on the day. You know what I mean? Cause I'm starting off my day with a blunt of perp. No pancakes, just a cup of syrup. Psych, I lied. Make sure the people get these videos so they can like and subscribe, man. But all jokes aside, you saw the intro and you read the title, man. This is a bittersweet, but sweet nonetheless, dub for the culture. This is October 31st, Halloween, a real nigga holiday. Why I say that? Cause I don't gotta say free thug until his back was no more. He is a free man. Yes, you heard it. And the reason why I say it's bittersweet is because he's free, but he's on 15 years of probation. Nonetheless, he's free. He's free. And not only that, well, before I even get into that, let me give y'all a little recap of what went down. So you already know what we're doing on my block. My guy, Thug, he home free, but he ain't trying to get in no trouble. He said, up on the block. I said, I got you, my guy. You ain't got to call no shots. I want to do this. So if you scared, stay home. It's still Halloween, I get it. Mask on, mask off. Let's spin the block.
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, my managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just having so much time investing into this, and I am a smart guy, I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad, and it don't really have to have nothing to do with you, but it could end bad and it could, fall on you. And I know the choice is yours, it's up to you, and I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a bar in the future or something. Just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. I come from nothing and I've made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me because you made everything fair for me and everybody involved on both sides, I'm sorry to the sheriff, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got paid more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, and I just hope that you find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people, period, in the community, you know, all people. I learned that late, like these past 2 or 3 years of my life, I kind of learned that late. And maybe it was because I was, you know, probably on drugs or anything, I don't know. But I have came to my senses and I understand what I mean to this world. But I am a good guy, you know, I don't mind doing stuff like, you know, like free shows. And I always did that, you know, I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. You know, I made $1.8 million on a free show and I gave it all to single parent charity. And I did like 2 or 3 shows that made like $700,000 a piece, and I gave it to the breast cancer organization. Like, you know, I do things, like I put millions of dollars back into my community for real. I really did. I did more than anybody ever did from my side, you know. But I understand, you know, rap lyrics. I understand how it could be twisted. I understand what it could do to the mind of people. I understand all that, and I promise you, I'm 100% changing that. You know, it's just, I'm older, I'm grown now, you know, and it's just like, I'm smarter. It's more things to rap about. Like I've experienced a lot of good things. I experienced more bad things, but I experienced a lot of good things too. And anyway, I can go forever.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate that you do realize how much of an impact you have on people. I mean, it's past your neighborhood. It's worldwide, especially young people. And having come up from where you came up from and living in and around that, you know that gangs are damaging to our community. And it may be that a whole lot of rap music and the rap industry is, I mean, honestly, it sounds like a modern day version of kind of WWE wrestling that used to be on television, where people would just get up and posture and act like they hated each other. And it may be that that's a lot of what is going on in the music industry with rap. But whether it is fake or not, it has tremendous impact on kids and young people who think, this is cool, this is what I want to do, look at him, he's a millionaire, I can do that by being, you know, a gangster in the streets. And that's not true. What you're likely to have happen to you if you're a gangster in the streets is you get shot, you get killed, or you get thrown in prison. And those are, you know, by far the most likely outcomes. And, you know,
pushing like no paperwork has been changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever's been getting and how we.
All right, y'all, we back. That was just a little quick swear. I had to pump my brakes a little bit. I just want y'all to see my guy Thugger, aka Jeffrey Williams, or should I say that backwards? Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug. His heartfelt speech that he wanted to give to the court before he got his sentencing. So, you know, I feel him and I believe him. I really believe him. But how you think Paige Whitaker felt about that? I mean, obviously it worked a little bit maybe because he did get 15 years probation. He got out exactly like he wanted to. So I'm gonna show you how that went down. You already know what we doing. You still scared? Put on your seatbelt or something, man. Spin the block again.
You've been in here watching the trial, and you've seen the pictures of Mr. Ryan posing with a gun as big as he is at 15 years old and going out and shooting and killing another teenager. And that's what gangs do, and that's unfortunately a lot of what rap music does. And if you are a modern day John Lennon, you know, I mean, he might have rapped too in this day and age. I don't know, but I know you're talented, and even if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that that is not the way to go, and that there are ways out of poverty besides hooking up with the powerful guy at the end of the street selling drugs. And, you know, I know that happens for protection sometimes, but a much better way would be getting an education and setting, you know, hanging around with people who set a good example. And you be one of those people that sets a good example. I mean, all right, so that's my high horse on that. I could also go on. But I want you to try to be more of the solution and less of the problem. All right? All right. So it is not lost on the court that the state, had they been able to come to agreement on certain special conditions, was willing to entirely dismiss the RICO count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, you know, machine gun count. Was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration in crafting my sentence. And in permitting a NOLO plea to the RICO count and one of the two gang counts, I would not be permitting the NOLO to the one if you were not pleading guilty to at least one of them. But you are, and y'all admit a factual basis for the counts that you are pleading guilty to. I find there to be a factual basis for those counts, and for the remaining counts with which you are charged, I am going to impose a sentence, and I've taken a little bit of the suggested special conditions from the defense and a little bit of the special conditions suggested by the prosecution. On count one, the court sentence is 20 years to serve 5 years, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years to be probated, and a $25,000 fine. On count two, the sentence is 5 years to serve, commuted to time served. That's the minimum sentence that's permitted on that count. It is required to be run consecutively. I'm going to run it consecutive to count one, but I am going to backload. Oh, I'm sorry. That is not commuted. That is 5 years to serve, and it's going to be run consecutively to count one, backloaded, by which I mean after you serve your 15 years of probation. If you have been successful on that probation, and I sincerely hope that you are, then at the end of that 15 years, I will commute the entire rest of any service portion of your sentence to time served. So I'll get to the end of it and give you the total sentence, but I'm also going to impose a $15,000 fine with regard to that count. Count 57, 20 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years probated, concurrent with count 1. Count 58, 10 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, balance probated, concurrent with count 1. 59, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. 60, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. Count 61, 5 years to serve, that is required to be also a consecutive sentence, so that's going to be run consecutively to count 56 and backloaded. Count 62, 10 years to serve, also required to be served consecutively, that's going to be consecutive to count 61, also backloaded. So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your
12 seconds later.
status for the first half of your probation, active reporting for the first 7.5 years of your probation, and that is pursuant to OCGA 17-10-1, subsection 2A. And Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, in order to keep him on reporting status, there needs to be good cause shown. We all concede that good cause is shown here?
Stipulate.
All right, I appreciate that. Special conditions of your probation.
What good cause? What do they mean?
Can I have a second, Your Honor?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You had enough time to talk with your attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. All right, special conditions of your probation. After 48 hours from your release, you are to stay away from the metro Atlanta area, and that's defined by the U.S. Census Bureau. It may change, but you can look that up anytime to figure out what that is. For the first 10 years of your probation, subject to the following exceptions, you are permitted to be in the metro Atlanta area to attend any wedding, funeral, or graduation from high school, college, or graduate school of any of your immediate family members. And immediate family members is defined the same way that you all were contemplating it when you were negotiating. You can get here up to 24 hours prior to any such event, and you need to leave within 48 hours after any such event. In addition, during each year of your probation, I'm going to require that you come to the metro Atlanta area and make a live anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentation 4 times a year, each year of your probation, at a grade school, a middle school, a boys or girls club, anything like that, that type of group. And if you want to, that presentation can include a benefit concert, and these presentations may count towards your required community service hours, which I'm going to impose, that during each year of your probation, you perform 100 hours of community service. You are, and this is required by the fact that there's a gang conviction. You shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of any criminal street gang. Exception to that, if your brother is a member of any street gang, I hope you talk him into getting out of it. Contavious Greer, and then also Sergio Kitchens, as long as you are contractually obligated to him. That is going to include anybody who is named in this indictment, except as absolutely necessary to conduct the lawful business of your musical career, and to any extent that the state is not agreeing to the exception for Mr. Kitchens. In the event that that part is not enforceable because it is only a portion of a special condition, going to provide that that be severable from the rest of this, and I'll put some case cites in the Senate sheet for that. You are in no way to promote any criminal street gang or any criminal street gang activity, including on any social media platform. You are not to utilize any hand signs, terminology, or language that promotes any criminal street gang. You are not to participate in any criminal street gang activity. You are not to knowingly engage in any contact with any of the victims that are listed in this indictment or with any of their family members. And you may not have in your possession or with arm's reach any kind of a firearm, because you're going to be a convicted felon. And that is, except I know that you have security and you need security. You can be within arm's reach of a firearm that is in the possession of either licensed law enforcement or licensed security personnel that are in your security detail or anybody that you're performing with.
Pushing like no paperwork has been changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever's been getting and how we've been pushing.
Alright, y'all, there you have it, man. I ain't gonna spin the block no more. We saw the up on the block that time, but we got him. And before I end this, man, other than free Young Thug, I want to say this one more time, man. Shout out to Brian Steele, the whole defense. As you saw everybody celebrating when they came out. Them ain't nothing to be with, you heard? They ain't playing. They stepping and standing on business. They batted, fool, and they just proved that. Young Thug home. So we already know, man, don't play with Brian Steele. I've been saying this since the beginning of this case, which has been going on almost 3 years. That they was picking them apart, playing chess. Everything that transpired was helping Thug. I've been screaming this. Even YSL, my therapist, Woody, when he was acting like he don't recall anything, and everything that was transpired worked in his favor. The crazy part is that, like I said, the actual killer is YSL Woody, killing Nut Thomas. And so, you know, the family still probably going to be angry about this, but you can't put it on Young Thug. Y'all had so much evidence to show, and none of it worked. Y'all really ain't had nothing on him. Young Thug simply just pleaded guilty to the things that he knew he was actually guilty and caught with, which was the guns and the drugs. Like, he knew that. Why lie and say I ain't do that? Because then it would have made him look stupid. So he pleaded guilty to that. He told her how he felt, and it worked. And like the judge said, if they feeling like he can get out on a mistrial, all this other stuff, then he can't be like a menace to society. So let him out. It's bittersweet because he got 15 years of doing all of this. And not only that, he home. But all the hypocritical fans, we're going to see who his real fans are. Because he can't speak no slack, game, slime. He can't do none of that no more. Any indication of that, even in his music, he's going to do his time. Which is 45 years. So it's bittersweet because he still get to go home. So it's safe to say he's still Young Thug. He still got his career. He beat a RICO case. It's safe to say that. They had a plea out. He beat this case. Not in the manner that he wanted to beat it, but he beat this case. So that's the reasons why that's bittersweet. But nonetheless, it's a win for the culture. And October 31st will be a real nigga holiday. Because of Thugger, who stood on his, kept it solid. He ain't say nothing about nobody. He ain't show his animosity or anything like that. He just kept his head down the whole time, kept quiet. Everything that transpired. But we lost people. In the midst of this whole situation, we lost people that were even connected to him. Rich Homie Quan just recently passed away. Would have been a beautiful thing to see him get out and they're united. Because I truly believe that could have happened. But now we'll never know. Hopefully he come out and start, showing his real condolences for him passing and stuff like that. That would be something good to see. But nonetheless, Young Thug is home. Right after one of his little homies, Lil Durk, got locked up. For basically the same kind of situation. A murder for hire. Thug was always the smartest out of all these niggas, and he just proved that. He proved he was most solid, most loyal nigga too. Everything he was speaking on, that's really Young Thug. He proved that. And then they mentioned the thing about Sergio Kitchens, which is Gunna. We're gonna see how that go. Cause he's still contractual to Young Thug and YSL. Because he's out, he still get to use YSL as his label. So like I said, he beat the RICO. And Young Thug is home. And you gotta give a shout out to Brian Steele and them. They the best thing since Johnny Cochran. No lie. It's at the point that they knew they was gonna beat this. They was trying to get it a mistrial, but maybe it was better this way. Because Young Thug can't be stupid enough to get involved in that stuff again after what he just witnessed. And all the people that turned their back on him and all of that, he had a wake-up call. That's why I truly believe him. And he been sober for going on 3 years. This whole situation was like 700 days total. From the time him getting locked up, plus the trial. That he was away. Time he can't get back. And some of his co-defendants got time. Some of them got 5 years, like Moon Tunk and all of them. They was this close. Should have played their cards right. Or maybe that's the casualty of war. All I know is one of my favorite artists is home. That's all I know. Thugger is home. Salute to him, salute to the fans, salute to the defense. And, you know, shout out to the opposition too. They tried, but it didn't work. And only shout out to the opposition because, like I said, Donovan Thomas still, his murder ain't been resolved. Even though they know who the killer was, which is YSL Woody, that they gave the immunity to, just to try to get something on Young Thug that still didn't happen. They still didn't pin this on Young Thug. That's why I say all this was bullshit. I hate the justice system. It never really worked in your favor. But unless you got money, which it drained a lot of his money, but it worked. So I'm making this video right now. This is like the third video I made today on Young Thug. All this happened literally in one day. Just watch my timeline, go to my videos. I got 3 videos. All this literally happened like in one day. Or in a 2-day span, literally. It's crazy. But it's finally over. The YSL RICO case, State versus Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, is finally over. He's a free man, he's home. Salute to the culture. Now, leave a comment down below, let me know how y'all feel for real. But this world showed me every day. It ain't show y'all. But I always say, love each other. Till next time, yours truly, HeartBreak.
Jeffrey would have been found not guilty of everything. So this is very painful. But that's another 3 months or so in custody. And he wants to go home to his family. And negotiations totally broke down with the district attorney's office. Horribly broke down. And at that point, we believe that justice would be found with the honorable court. And Jeffrey just wanted to go home. How agonizing it is to know that we've spent a year trying a case where the prosecutors have put on lies, knowing lies, hiding evidence, is insane in 2024 in the United States of America. And the only reason that this got revealed is because of you people. You people brought the truth to the community because nobody knows this. This is not the only courtroom it's happening in, and I just want to thank all of you. I especially want to thank Jeffrey for letting me represent him. I think he's a wonderful person who does wonderful things and will continue to do things even greater. I cannot express to you how Shaquille Kokomo, how Trisha Renard, how Haley, how my wife Colette, how Bram, how countless people, but especially Miss Courtney Edwards, has worked without sleep for 3 years representing Jeffrey and helping him. I will never be able to stand with anyone more ethical, honest, hardworking, insightful, intelligent, and kind than the Honorable Keith Adams. The gentleman to my left is the best lawyer in the country.
Do you think prosecutors negotiated in good faith at all during any of these negotiations?
Let me take this one. Let me answer that. The short answer is no. This is a case that possibly could have been resolved if folks were reasonable. But we did not believe that we could enter into good faith negotiations with people who wanted a case resolved in a manner simply to save face. And Jeffrey Williams was not going to say things that they wrote for him, that they wanted him to say, that was their theory when it wasn't true. And so, good faith, no. I don't believe we were ever really negotiating in good faith. And you've been here the past year that this case has been on trial. You've seen the numerous motions for mistrial. You've seen the behavior of the state. You've seen the dishonesty. You've seen everything being hidden. You've seen things come out in court, in front of you. And so you know what kind of prosecution we were dealing with, and that's okay. You know, Mrs. Steele and I have fought through this the past 2.5 years And as he said, we ultimately decided we were going to put our faith in the court as opposed to the folks on the other side of the aisle. And, you know, the best thing out of all of this is that Jeffrey Williams, in a very short period of time, will be home. And that's all we've wanted from May 9th, when they went and picked him up and have held him in jail without a bond for the past 2.5 years. He'll be home shortly.
Cops, we ain't America's Most Wanted, NYPD Blue, none of that shit you watch.
We something like them.
No, nothing like it.
And I told you, I'm a player, and I don't care about none of that.